Sanibona, ngaphambi singene kwivideo namuhla, ngithi angithathe lethuba ngibonge isupport nothando enikhombise lona lingaphezu kokucabanga kwethu. Siyacela niqhubeke nisisupport njalo ngokubuka amavideo ethu, ungakhohlwa ukukhomenta, ushare, ulike. Siyafisa ukuzwa umbono wakho. Sicela ke singene kwivideo namuhla. Njengoba osukwini la izolo lomhla ka-16 kuJuni, ama-political parties bowaphumile-ke nama-rally endaweni ezehlukahlukeneyo. Ne-EFF nawo beyikhona le Kingswell Stadium. Ngiyacabanga ngapha eThekwini. uJulius Malema naye uthola ithuba, wayesetshela akhuluma nabantu base-KZN, wabakhumbuza ngephutha abalenza lokuvotela i-MK. Ile video engifunde kuyicaphuna la, ngoba into yenziwa CIC ukukhumbuza abantu base-KZN ukuthi benze likhulu iphutha ngokuvotela i-MK. Angizukuphawula lutho kwamanje, ngizomcaphuna uJulius Malema akhulume yena. Mhlawumbe sengingaphawula emveni kwalapho. Kodwa ke ngingakamcaphuni, ngiyacela ukhomente, ngizwe ukuphawula kwakho, ushare, ulike, ngifisa ukuzwa ukuthi uthini wakho umbono. Ngiyacela futhi uma ungaka-subscribe, subscribe kwi-channel ukhulele umndeni.
Comrades, you cannot lose power to an old man and say Zuma is the future. How can the old be the future? Because the future is right in front of me here. You are the future of this country. You are leading now, and we can never be led by an old man who misled us during his time and never gave us jobs and says he can give us jobs now. Now he says he will give you land. Why didn't he give you land when he was a president of South Africa, when he was a deputy president of South Africa? We must stop listening to simple lies. The youth at universities, you cannot allow to be led by the old. The old must retire and the new must emerge and take over South Africa. This KZN must never be reduced into some tribalistic province. Our people in KZN are not tribalist, and they do not belong to some old man who wants to use tribalism to win over the hearts of our people. This is a progressive province, and it will become one of the liberated zones very soon as we march into the future. Comrades, let's go and build the EFF. You voted here in KZN for MKP, gave them 45%. What are they doing with that 45%? They are worse. They are not doing anything here in KZN. In parliament there, they've got numbers, they've got majority, they are the most useless people. You must tell them when you see them, Orlena, you are useless. We tried you and you are not delivering. So don't make that mistake again of giving people who go to parliament to represent you, and after they speak, we can't hear what they will say, like Penny. When you vote for MK, you are voting for Penny. When he finished speaking, no one can make sense of what this guy was saying. Whether he speaks in English or in Fennec, the guy is just a clown. He's not supposed to be in parliament. That's how MK has thanked you, the people of KZN. After you voted them, they gave you penny, and you don't deserve such things. Today, you must make an appointment with history and say that mistake will never be repeated again. We are going to make sure that KZN is a home of the EFF. KZN must turn red everywhere. Every corner must be red. KZN belongs to the EFF. They thought they were going to make us run away. We will never run away from a fight. Asinsabi impi sizofela empini, because we are not cowards. Whether they think they destroyed the EFF or not, you defended the EFF. Today, EFF would have been history, but because of you, the EFF is still alive. Continue to defend your organization. continue to defend the leadership. This organization is an organization of farm workers. It's an organization of petrol attendants. It's an organization of domestic workers. It's an organization of the students. Defend the EFF. When you defend the EFF, you are defending the land of our ancestors. This land belongs to our ancestors, and only the EFF can return the land to the rightful owners. The future is in your hands. You must decide what you want to do with the future. Let us build a strong organization. You see, this EFF, even Donald Trump is very scared of it. Even Elon Musk is very scared of this EFF. That's why you must know wherever you are a powerful force. Elon Musk, Starlink will never work here in South Africa for as long as the EFF exists. As long as they don't want to comply with the laws of South Africa, Starlink will never exist here in South Africa. Whether Elon Musk threatens us or not, we are not scared of Trump and Musk. We will defend our country and will defend the sovereignty of our country. Comrades, there is no white genocide. There is no one who wants to kill white people. We are saying to the white people, let's live together in peace. But we can't live in peace if you don't give us what you stole from us. That's what we are talking about. We are not talking about killing anyone. The song, Kill the Poor, is not created by Julius Malema. That is a song of the struggle. That is the song that was sung by our fathers and mothers during difficult days of apartheid, and no one will stop us from singing that song. It is our heritage, and we will defend it with everything we have. Comrades, we must never allow the USA to dictate to us what needs to happen in South Africa. Comrades, Ramaphosa said he will never be bullied by Trump. But when he arrived there at Oval Office, he was shaking like a small boy. But when he's here at home, he says he can't be bullied. He was bullied in America by another president, and that president forced him to watch a movie without his permission. They just said, dim the lights, and they played a movie for him. No one does that to another president. That is the highest form of disrespect. Ramaphosa has destroyed the dignity of this country internationally, and we must restore the dignity of this country. How do you have soldiers being killed in DRC? How do you undermine the powerhouse called South Africa by deploying the weak and have them killed, and yet you say South Africa is a powerhouse in Africa? We want to build a strong army, not only of South Africa, of the whole of African continent, so that we can confront America or China or Russia as equal, because the unity of Africa is a threat to Europe. That's why Africa must unite. That's why Africa must have one president, must have one parliament, must have one army, must have one currency, and that currency must be stronger than the dollar, euro, or pounds. Comrades, this is your organization. You must defend it with everything. You must guard it jealously. You must always make sure there is a branch of the EFF Youth Command where you come from. There is a branch of the EFF where you come from. When we go to elections, you must be volunteers of the EFF and work hard for this organization. We are very proud of the KZN leadership today. What you did here, that's what you do.
Umzuleko CIC kubekile konke akubekile, angizukusho lutho mina kwamanje, noma ke kukhona izinto engingazithandanga ngoba inhloso yakhe mangabe elwa ne-MK Party noZuma kangamfaki uPenny. uPenny thina esibukela ama-portfolio committee siyayazi contribution yakhe, futhi especially ngoba uyaziqonda inkinga zama-artist. I-portfolio akuyo ye-sports, arts and culture, indaba ye-art uyazi kangcono. Ngake ngamcaphuna la ekhuluma into ezibalekile no-Minister Gaten Mackenzie. So angeke ukuthi ngoba last week kunamagama angawabizanga kahle esilungu kwagcina kukhulunywa ngaye bese eba itopic yebo khona abantu base KZN akushilo Malema ukuthi isikhathi ukuthi balungise iphutha ngoba MK Party no 45% eKZN kodwa ayenzi lutho khona. Isikhathi sokwenza ukuthi asikho kunzima lapha ya. Funeka lapha yana uzibheke. Isikhathi sokwenza ukuthi asikabibikho. Kubhizi ngempela lapha ya. Mkhonto ugwaze ekhaya. Ngithe nje ngaphambi ngivale le video. Angikuphe nawo umlando. Kunomlando engizokucaphunela wona la. Angeke ngisho lutho. Emveni kwawo ngizobonga nje ukuthi wena ubukele bese ngiyayivala ivideo. Angizukuphawula lutho. Cela uzwe la.
So this video, it highlighted the difference between BEE law as well as Apartheid law. Now, this is especially important for number one, abantu who were not there during this time. This will be your Gen Zs and your later millennials. And number two, abantu abathanda ukuthi video and share widely, because it's through awareness, guys, that we can actually do better. So, bugela.
During apartheid in South Africa, a series of discriminatory laws and policies were enacted to enforce racial segregation and maintain white minority rule. These policies, often termed pillars of apartheid, included the Groups Areas Act, the Population Registration Act, and the Pass laws. These laws restricted the movement, housing, employment, and education of black South Africans, creating a system of vast inequalities and oppression. There's a Group Areas Act, 1950. This act mandated the segregation of neighborhoods and housing, forcibly relocating black South Africans from areas where they were not designated to live. Population Registration Act, 1950. This act classified all South Africans by race, white, black, Indian, and colored, creating a racial hierarchy and forming the basis for subsequent discriminatory policies. Pass laws. These laws required black South Africans, only black, not colored and Indian, to carry pass books, internal passports, that restricted their movement and freedom, particularly in urban areas. The 1952 Pass Laws Act was a key example of racial discrimination. Separate Amenities Act, 1953. This act mandated separate facilities for different racial groups, creating segregation in public spaces like hospitals, parks, and libraries. Bantu Education Act, 1953. This act established a separate inferior education system for black South Africans, designed to produce a workforce for white-dominated industries. Education for non-white children was severely restricted and of lower quality compared to that of white children. True. Land Acts. A series of land acts, including the Black Land Act and the Development Trust and Land Act, set aside a disproportionately small percentage of land for black South Africans, non-white South Africans, leaving them with little economic opportunity. This is now everybody, all non-whites, were forced to live in overcrowded townships on the outskirts of white cities, Bantustans, which are the homelands. The government forcibly relocated black people to designated homelands or Bantustans, which were underdeveloped and lacked adequate infrastructure and economic opportunities. Numerous other laws, such as the Immorality Act and the Prohibition of Mixed Marriages Act, criminalized interracial relationships and marriages. Suppression of opposition. Political opposition groups and movements advocating for black rights were harassed and suppressed. Economic discrimination. Job reservations. Certain jobs were reserved exclusively for white workers, while non-white people were restricted to lower-paying jobs or denied employment altogether. Economic exploitation. Black workers, all non-white workers, were paid lower wages than white workers for the same work, yes, and their labor was used to benefit the white economy. Unequal access to services. Non-white communities lacked access to basic services like sanitation, clean water, and healthcare. Some townships didn't even have electricity. The first time they got electricity was after 1994. These policies created a system of systemic racism and oppression, denying non-white South Africans their basic rights and freedoms. They had a profound and lasting impact on South African society, resulting in economic inequality, social division, and a legacy of injustices that continues to be addressed even today. So you make up your mind, white people, and those non-whites who also think, oh, apartheid was better. Better make up your mind. Better make up your mind. If you think apartheid is better, there's definitely something wrong with your head. Definitely.
Ngithi angikuphe na umlando ukuze ezinye izinto siziqonde. Uma kukhulunywa nge-education system, uma kukhulunywa ngokuthi i-government lo since athatha from 94 azange ayi-improve education system ngoba ngempela iy'kole zabamhlophe zisengcono kunezabamnyama. Imfundo etholakala khona ayifani. Yingakho wona ama-politicians ethatha iy'ngane zawo eyozifundisa kuma-private school lapho ezizothola khona imfundo engcono bese kuthi wena obavotelayo iy'ngane zakho yifunde kuma-public school. Yabona manje bakhohliwe nguwe, bazovela uyeza unyaka ozayo kuzovota u-2026. Bazobeze kuwe bekuphathela iskipa, bakutshele yonke izethembiso, qeda bangadelivi no-God. Ikhona-ke i-political party engiyaziyo ekwazi ukukhipha abantu abangasebenzi ukuthi bayothembisa abanye abantu abangasebenzi umsebenzi. Leya political party ngiyayazi-ke inekhono kulowo mkhakha. Mina nawe sidibane kwivideo elandelayo, ngiyabonga.